Okay, let's look at this a different way. This is Raghee Horner's 34 EMA wave, same chart and everything we was looking at before. The blue one is the current chart, which is 15. This is the little gray one is the 60-minute multi time frame, 240 and daily. You notice here 2 lime arrows, 2 wishy-washy arrows, red down, up and up. Let's look at it this way. This, I'm sure you've seen this sort of stuff before. This is ATR. I really don't have time to go into that. Here are your pairs that I have coded. You see they're grouped, the EURs, and then they're grouped, the JPYs, and then they're somewhat grouped, the USDs, and so on. I do that a lot so I can see the EUR at a glance. If they're all going down, I always somewhat felt that the euro must be weak. If the JPYs are all red arrows pointing down, I assume the JPY must be strong. You know how that works. So that's why I group them like that, so I can see at a glance. Where's AUD? Right here. AUD, USD. Remember the 2 ups, 2 wishy-washy, 1 down, 2 ups. What this is doing, this is looking at those arrows on every single chart on these times frames, and it's just putting them here. The important thing to remember is that all these arrows are looking at the 0 bar. In other words, the unfinished bar. In other words, right now. This is the AUD, NZD, right now. As we speak, the price is below the 5-minute 34 EMA wave. Now, when the bar closes, it may be above. We don't know. But right now, it is below. So, here, I don't like just flipping through charts. I can't do it. I get confused. I'm more like that dragnet guy. Just give me the facts, ma'am. This right here, which is almost nothing, is just the facts, ma'am. This is the signals, the color changes, the arrow changes, and all from here. So if you could just kind of visualize all this group being over here. The ones that changed will show. The ones that did not change will not show. So we can see the Euro GBP, the price must have fell below the 34 EMA wave. All these right here, they just continuing on. They didn't fall above or below. Wherever they were, they just keep going, but they didn't cross anything. In other words, there is no signal. Here, the GBP CHF, the 5, 15, and 30 all crossed above the price. Darn thing. I probably can't turn that volume down. Aggravate my nerves. There we go. I always forget to turn that volume down. Where was I saying? Our volume got me messed up. Here, all 3 of these crossed above. So the price crossed above the 34 EMA wave on all of those. So if you were looking for a buy signal on the 15-minute chart, there it is. That's your, if you were looking for one now. I didn't say you were, but if you were, there it is. But look at this one here. The NZD this one is red down. Here, the 5 minute is up. The reason for that is this is now. This arrow right here is now. This is last bar. So last bar, the price, we don't even have to look at the chart, but last bar, the price must have closed above the wave and then given you a signal. So then immediately, or thereabouts, the price fell back below, crossed the whole wave all the way down. So now it's below the wave. And if we pull the chart up, you can see. For some reason, oh, 5 minutes. Okay, I think I say, darn, it didn't do it. Got the question in my code there. Okay, you see here, it closed above the wave. It has to truly close above the wave. It closed above the wave, which gave us that lime arrow. Then the 0 bar, which is right here, it immediately fell down. So both those arrows, even though they're different, are valid. They are correct. Let's go back. It said we had a buy signal last close, yet right now you have it's back below, so it's not a buy signal. The thing is, when you trend trade, do you really want to take that buy signal even if it was still above? Do you really want to take that buy signal when everything else is going down? Not me. It's, that's counter trend trading. Like I said before, there's nothing more exciting than counter trend trading, but there's probably also nothing more than my losses exceed the norm there. Let's look at that thing. I don't really trade the GBP NZD anyway. It's kind of wild. But we'll see, we were looking at the fact that they were all red, right? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, they're all red. See, the daily's been dropping. The 240 has been dropping. The hour has been dropping. The 15 minutes been dropping. So you sit there and say, well, what's so wrong with that? Why don't you want to trade that? Well, I just don't. It just seems to be too wild for me. But had we taken the trade right there, because see right here they're going up. If you're going to trade, if you're selling now, you be selling against the 15-minute trend, and actually you would be selling a little bit against the hour trend too, and the 240 is actually going up a little bit there, wasn't it? But here they all started going down. See, I stepped down. All these are stepping down. So if you would have sold there, and the daily's going down, if you would have sold there in this area right in here somewhere, you're looking at 500 pips. Now the tick value on 500 pips on the GBP NZD isn't that much, so don't be thinking that's $500, because the tick value is less. But still, if you were going to trend trade this particular pair, that would be the time to do it. I don't want to be trading when these are going up, that one's going down, these are going up, that one's going, when it's all messed up like that. No, not me. It's just not worth it. I got more important things to do. But this here is nothing more than the same thing we were looking at. It's just that rather than looking at the chart, I can immediately focus on the signals. And of course, you know how signals work. You can have this push notification sent to your phone, or you can have it emailed, that's not a good idea. Or you can have an alert. If you're in the room, you can just sit there and let it bing until you come over there and look. But if, say for instance, let's just say for instance, the 15 turned green, lime. So in other words, now the price is above the wave. So you'd be sitting there, or I'd be sitting there, if I traded this pair, I'd be sitting there waiting for it to fall back below the wave. Once it closes below the wave, the next bar, the open, is where I'd be at least thinking about selling. I'm not saying I would sell, but I'd be thinking about it. And where I would not be thinking about selling is when it closed below the wave, like there. See, it closed below the blue, but the hour chart's going up and the 240 chart's going up. I would not be thinking about sell there. No one knows. It might have just fell on, it might have fell on down to parity. Who knows? I know this. Somebody else will make that money. I will wait till they all agree, and then I'll join the group. Until then, I'm just going to be sitting there happy that they're making money, and just as happy that I'm sitting here waiting, following my rules, which I break a lot, trust me. But anyway, I think that's all I want to say. Just the facts, ma'am, right here. That's all this is, just the facts. And that's what I work best. And things like this, I do realize I got a little bit of an advantage because I can code. But it's all I can say is try to learn the code, and then you can kind of put your thoughts into something like this, and you might end up doing better. But anyway, let me